and welcome to Mitv Primetime News. I am Teresa Adeyemi. President Bola Tinubu on Sunday implored West African leaders to prioritize good governance and collective prosperity as an essential tool to prevent authoritarian takeovers of power and unconstitutional changes of government in the region. The Nigerian leader, who is also the chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, said these at the 64th Ordinary Section of the West African Bloc at the State House, Abuja. Addressing the high-powered regional gathering, the president identified good governance as a key catalyst to secure popular support through the socio-economic transformation and development of West Africa. Recounting decisions taken by West African leaders to further strengthen the region's democratic achievement and uphold the right of the people to elect the leaders of their choice, the president said the bloc has outlined specific measures to be taken against any member state opting for an unconstitutional change of government. President Tinubu also used the occasion to applaud President George Weah of Liberia for conceding victory and congratulating his opponent during the last presidential election in Liberia. Invited leaders at the summit and other participants to give a standing ovation to President Weah. He also acknowledged the presence of former President Goodluck Jonathan of Nigeria, who in 2015 displayed a similar commitment to democratic ideals after losing his re-election to the opposition candidate Muhammadu Buhari. As 5 public servants who stood against corrupt practices received their Integrity Icon Award, the National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer, Sevicam, Mrs. Nena Akajemili, has emphasized the need for adherence to policies by government at all levels to promote transparency and accountability. She made this known today in Abuja after the 7th Annual Integrity Icon Summit, an award organized by non-governmental organization Accountability Lab Nigeria in partnership with Luminate, MacArthur Food Foundation and UNDP. The event is organized to celebrate public servants who have showcased credible character in the discharge of their responsibilities, while commending the organizer for the effort put towards supporting the Nigerian government in building robust institutions and fostering trust to deliver impactful governance for citizens. Mrs. Nena said the award will encourage and boost the awardees' morale for improved service delivery in their various organizations. Also speaking, the country director of Accountability Lab Nigeria, Mr. Friday Ode, urged private and public servants to imbibe the culture of integrity and discipline while engaging in their daily activities. He further disclosed that since inception, over 70 honest civil servants have so far been rewarded.
When this is done and people are rewarded and applauded and commended for standing out in their organization, it sends huge positive message to the rest of the members of such ministry, departments and agencies across the nation. It helps us institutionalize healthy competition amongst the service providers. And this is done without bias from the highest CEOs to the lowest serving officers. For those who stand out, they are raised and praised, and they are made, as one of them said, they are picked as ordinary people and made celebrities. They are made champions.
Today's event is about naming and faming honest government officials, mainly civil servants. We try as much as possible to stay with civil servants who are doing the right thing. The choice of civil servants, they are the ones that do the work when it comes to service delivery for citizens. If you go to any ministry, department or agencies, they are the ones whom you interact with. So for them, for us, it's basically how do you rate civil servants who serve the public good, meaning how do you ensure that we as citizens are getting the best, the dividends of democracy from these civil servants. Citizens, for us, identify these people across different MDAs across the country. Just tell us these people that you have interacted with that are doing the right thing when it comes to accountability, integrity, open governance, and all the likes that justifies that you can build trust with government officials. You can also rate your service delivery as
the Integrity Award is one of a kind because it rewards the difficult job that we do. Integrity is not just in knowing the right thing, but in doing the right thing. Integrity is not just in doing the right thing when people are there, but also doing the right thing and standing firm when people are not there. And it's
the Nigerian Air Force on Sunday said an airstrike undertaken by its air component of Operation Well-Punch on Wednesday neutralized cause of terrorists, including the deraided terrorist and kidnapped kingpin Yellow Jambros in Shiroro local government area LGA of Niger State. In a statement signed by its Director of Public Relations and Information, Edward Gapquet, NFA said the terrorist media end while attempting to cross Jikudna River in Galadima Kogo district, heading towards Wurukuvi axis of Chikun LGA. According to NAV, prior to the strike, Yellow Jambros and his cohort were trailed from Zamfara State into Niger State, riding 13 motorcycles along the Kaduna-Niger State border, precisely heading towards Kusausu in Shiroro LGA of Niger State. It noted that Yellow Jambros and his cohort have been responsible for several kidnappings and killings along the Abuja-Kaduna road and in several communities in Kaduna, Niger, Katsina, and Zamfara State. Chairman of the 10th House of Representative Committee on Interior, Honorable Aliyu Abdullahi, has pledged the committee support to boosting the country's internal security through robust legislation and oversight mechanisms. Abdullahi gave the assurance at the National Assembly during the committee's inaugural meeting. The House Interior Committee, established by Order 26 subsection B, Rule 63 of the House Standing Orders, is mandated to oversee certain ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, in accordance with Section 62 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. According to the Katsina State-born federal lawmaker, the committee, comprising accomplished professionals and public servants, is well poised to fulfill its mandate, thanks to the trust bestowed upon us by esteemed Speaker, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD. Honorable Abdullahi explained that the focus of the committee lies in addressing the nation's security challenges with oversight responsibilities covering the Ministry of Interior, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, the Nigerian Immigration Services, NIS, and the Federal Fire Service.
Our focus lies addressing the nation's security challenges with oversight, responsibility covering the Ministry of Interior, the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Immigration Service, and the Nigerian Fire Service. To enhance internal security, we pledge on variable legislative support, emphasizing development technology, robust hardware.
The House of Representatives Committee on Appropriations has summoned the heads of the Central Bank, Olaide Cardoso, FRC boards, and the Comptroller General of Customs to appear in person before the House Committee on Monday, 11th December 2023. The Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Appropriations, Honorable Abubakar Kabe Bichi, had during the interactive section with relevant MDAs on appropriation bills 2024 refused to allow representatives of these three organizations represent their bosses at the ongoing budget interaction. In view of this, Chairman of the committee, Honorable Bichi, went ahead to state the objective of the engagement, which among others is to provide highlight on some key issues in relation to the preparation, enactment, and implementation of the 2024 budget. However, the committee still had time to take on the Ministries of Budget and Planning as well as the Debt Management Office. They both lamented the poor economic downturn being experienced in the country, but pledged to raise the country's GDP ratio from 10% to 18% as demanded by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The first point we really need to make is that, as most of us will be aware, we have run budget deficits for many years, for decades, for which the Debt Management Office has been raising funds, local and international, to support the budget. Okay. And the point I also like to make is as the level of borrowing increases, because these are borrowings, they are debt, you have to service them, so debt service also increases, just to make that basic point. Again, just to say again for the purpose of all of us here, we run budget deficits, yes, that's because there are programs and projects in the budget that the government wants to run. If we go back from 2015, 2016, we know we've been through about 2 or 3 recessions. We had one in 2016, 2017. We also had one during COVID. So a lot of that bringing the economy out of recession was funded from borrowing. The first one was through the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. Then the last one we had was during COVID. So debt has increased.
That's the reason why we insist on Monday, all these revenue people, we want them here. The more they are delaying the budget. They are not delaying the National Assembly, they are delaying the budget. Let them know they are delaying the budget process. If they didn't show up, we expect all of them to be here. CBN Governor, Minister of Finance, Minister of Petroleum, Controller General, MPA, NIMASA, all the GOEs, we need them here. Let them come and explain how did they arrive, the scientific study, how did they arrive on that figure they have declared on the MTED. We believe it's short, it's not enough. Okay. It's insufficient. We believe so let them come and explain so that we can see if we can have more revenues in 2024 so that our people can see the impacts and supporting Mr. President.
Ministers are MDAs. We are all supposed to think that way. We are supposed to think, not just administer our ministries, but to think out of the box. What are those things we can migrate from the budget? There is a lot the private sector can do, so I should also see my role as a minister as that of inviting the private sector, marketing them so that they can do those things which appropriation cannot give me the money to do. We are not going to have enough money to build all the houses we require, and indeed the roads we require. So the ministers are urged to think, and it has been done before, and we have been directed to do that will complement whatever funding. But the importance of the budget is a signaling tool, it's a catalytic tool, and is equitable so that all can feel involved.
The House of Representatives Committee on Customs has reinstated its commitment to work diligently and ensure that the Nigerian Customs Service operates with integrity, efficiency, and effectiveness, thereby contributing to Nigerians' economic prosperity and security. Chairman of the committee, Leke Abejide, stated this during the inaugural meeting of the committee on Wednesday in Abuja. Its functions in no particular order include collection of revenue such as import and excise duties and other taxes levies, anti-smuggling activities, security functions, generating statistics for planning and budgetary purposes, and monitoring foreign exchange utilization, among others. The inauguration is the reason why the House Committee on Customs is reinstating its commitment to review existing policies to align with international standards such as the African Continental Free Trade Area.
We must strive to balance the need for revenue collection with the facilitation of legitimate trade, while also ensuring that our borders remain impenetrable to illicit goods and activities. I hereby crave the need for effective teamwork and collaboration. I am privileged to work with such experienced group of committee members. I am very confident that by combining our collective expertise and applying our diverse perspectives, we can make a significant contribution to the success of Nigeria Customs Service and the advancement of Nigeria economic agenda. In addition to our internal collaboration, we will also work closely with relevant ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, as well as stakeholders from the private sector to achieve our shared objectives.
The House of Representatives has begun the process of developing legislative and strategic policies for the promotion and implementation of corporate social responsibility (CRS) across the country. The Chairman, House Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility, Mrs. Lillian Orogbo, who discussed this at the inaugural meeting of the committee, underlined the need to streamline CSR reporting mechanisms and ensuring transparency and accountability in all efforts undertaken by corporate institutions. Mrs. Orogbo, who highlighted the importance of CSR on the host communities where businesses are carried out in the country, pledged the committee's readiness towards building a more inclusive and sustainable society by fostering positive legislation action and driving societal progress through oversight and laws that suit current realities. She said the primary focus of the committee will be to create an enabling legislative environment that empowers businesses to embrace CSR as a natural extension of their core operations through interface and oversight. The committee chairman added that through dialogue with stakeholders, the committee will identify best practices and develop guidelines tailored to the unique needs of the country's diverse business landscape.
The House Committee on CSR aims to promote and encourage a culture of responsible business practices throughout our nation. We believe that every company, regardless of its size or sector, has a role to play in shaping a sustainable future. To achieve this, we will constantly engage all relevant stakeholders in an extensive dialogue with companies, non-governmental organizations, and expert stakeholders to understand the challenges and opportunities on the ground. Through these discussions, we will identify best practices and develop guidelines tailored to the unique needs of our diverse business landscape. Furthermore, we will work towards streamlining CSR reporting mechanisms, ensuring transparency and accountability in all efforts under.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, said its operatives on Saturday intercepted 12 consignment of cocaine belonging to members of a drug trafficking organization at the Akano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu. The agency disclosed this in a statement signed by a spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday. According to the NDLEA, a businessman, Augustine Justin Emeka, 44, who claims he deals in copper wire, was arrested at the airport upon his arrival from Douala, Cameroon via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on Ethiopia Airline with 12 consignment consisting of 797 pellets of cocaine weighing 17.6 kilograms. The agency noted that during preliminary interview, the suspect admitted the cocaine consignment were for delivery to 12 different persons in the country. A coalition of Arewa indigents joined from across the southwest region has advised the nation's judicial arm of government to redeem its image by steering clear of judicial pronouncement, which seems to truncate the will of the masses. Leader of the coalition, Ajia Aishat Ismail, stated this in Ibadan during a peaceful protest where she urged the presidency to address the growing political tension in Kano State and indeed northern Nigeria, while also tackle the issue of banditry and general insecurity across the country. They demanded immediate solutions to the prevailing economic hardship experienced by a vast majority of Nigerians. They urged the judiciary to remain political while ensuring that the voice of the ordinary Nigerians is amplified. And that's all we have for you tonight from the local scene. We go on a quick break to bring you news from the foreign scene. Please stay with us. Welcome back now to Foreign Stories. Members of state of the World Health Organization, WHO, have passed a resolution calling for immediate medical access to Gaza. In an unusual move, the WHO's executive board made an emergency section to discuss what its Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus warned was a health catastrophe with many wounded and high risk of disease. The resolution calls for immediate unimpeded access for aid and for those fighting to abide by international law. That means no attack on hospitals or health workers. It also demands that all those detained hostages and Palestinians should have access to medical care. The WHO has warned that the terms of the resolution will be virtually impossible to fulfill without a ceasefire, something the United States vetoed at the UN Security Council on Friday. And up next is sport-related stories. Please stay with us. Talking sports, Erling Haaland misses Manchester City Premier League clash against Luton and Sunday with a foot injury that could impact his availability for the champions' hectic Christmas schedule. City boss Pep Guardiola said Haaland noticed the injury after Wednesday's defeat at Aston Villa. The Norway striker absence from the trip to Kenilworth Road is a big blow as City try to keep peace with leaders Liverpool. Haaland set the Premier League single-season goal record last time and has scored 19 times in the current campaign. Guardiola will be sweating on Haaland's fitness with City traveling to the FIFA Club World Cup in Saudi Arabia before returning for the busy festive program. Everton continued to shrug off the impact of a 10-point Premier League deduction as a 2-0 win over Chelsea and Sunday took the toughest 4-point clear of the relegation zone. Abdoulaye Doucouré opened the scoring before Lewis Durbin's first Everton goal imposed another damaging defeat on Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino. Without the penalty for breaching financial rules which Everton are appealing, Shandi's men would be 4 points above Chelsea in mid-table. Pochettino shuffled his pack after a dreadful display in losing 2-1 at Manchester United in midweek. But the Argentine is struggling to solve the side lack of a clinical edge up front despite the club having spent $1 billion equivalent to $1.3 billion on new players in the past 3 transfer windows. And that's it on MI TV Primetime News tonight. Many thanks for watching. I am Teresa Adeyemi. Do have a great night. Good night.